Hey everybody, it's TF Nut. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another action figure review. This is going to be of the Star Wars The Black Series Bad Batch Tech and Wrecker. Now, I am very behind on reviews. That is no secret. I really want to review these though. I've already reviewed the Hunter and the Crosshair figures for Bad Batch, so I decided to just go ahead and skip the packaging. You guys have probably already seen it by now. I just want to do it for the channel. Just to have. So both of these are pretty cool. There's some problems though. I think with the Black Series line as of late, and with these particular figures, but they're really good. Like, I'm very pleased with them overall. So we're gonna actually take a look at Wrecker first. He came out first for me at least, and then we'll take a look at Tech. So here is this blaster that Wrecker comes with. I believe it's the same one, if not a similar sculpt to Hunter's. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head right now. It's very cool. Lots of nice lines and sculpted details. Looks very much like what it looks like in Star Wars. I've seen this in like Battlefront 2 and other iterations of Star Wars, of course. This is a very cool weapon here. I really like this. Now, I don't, this thing right here has a little slot to peg into like the side of his leg, but there is no actual, unless I'm just dumb, I don't see anything on here. I don't believe there's actually a place to slot this onto the figure, like right here or on the back somewhere, or on the backpack, which we'll talk about in a second. We'll inspect it and see if there's anything on here. Cool backpack. I don't know what this little logo is right here, but that's very cool. Oh, it just literally says 99, so that's what that's for. I believe that's what it's supposed to be for. It looks like nines. Lots of really nice red going on here. That's like faded red. It's supposed to look faded. And the gray is a little plain. There's not much paint. It's just molded in gray. There's, again, not much paint at all, but there is some nice scratches actually sculpted onto this here. Some blue and red down here. Lots of nice sculpting overall. Looks like there's maybe some compartments and pouches and whatnot. I do not see anywhere to holster the weapon. But we have this piece on his back right here. There's a little hole right there. And you just plug it in and it sticks on there quite nicely, actually. You see this little sheath right here for the leg. Is this a vibro knife? Or a vibro machete at that point? I'm glad some Star Wars media lately has been showing off the vibro knives. Those are cool. So very nice thin handle, and then we have some actual silver on the blade with some serrated edge right there. Very cool. That's what the other side looks like. Not much to talk about with this piece. All you're going to do, slot it in like this. Stays in there rather nicely. Last but not least, Wrecker's helmet, as you can see right here, which has a lot of nice white paint going on in here with this little red. It looks like there's some streaking on the red there. Lots of great, it's really good paint detail, I think. I think the white came through very, very well. Red, pretty good. Grays and blacks are pretty boring, to be quite honest. But overall, pretty decent. Now, be careful when you put this on the head. I started bending the ears, actually, because I didn't really do it properly. The ears are fine now, but the best way is to squeeze it ever so slightly like this from the back to the front, and then slip it on there. It will fit on there very nice and snug. Looks great. So we have this head sculpt here for Wrecker. I think it actually came through rather nicely. I think the right eye is printed rather nice. The left eye is whited out and whatnot. Nice. I mean, they could have a little bit better detail on here, but for what we have, it's pretty decent with all these nice scars and whatnot on his face, and even on his nose. It's even more prominent, I feel like, on his nose. Bit of a smirk in the face. I like that. This definitely looks like a bit of a bigger, Tamura Morrison, that was his name? I forget it right now. But, this is a very nice head sculpt. I think it's done extremely well. I think the skin tone came through really, really nice, and the nice large ears. I really dig that a lot. We also do have, you can see here, planes going overhead, so sorry if you hear that. Some of this, it's almost like a turtleneck type thing. I don't know exactly what goes on with the armor and little ins and outs, what the names of everything are, but you can see some lines. It's just painted in black right there. I think it's actually molded. No, it's molded in the skin color because the black is streaking. So what I want to do now is put this back on. I'm sure you want to see this figure with the helmet on for the rest of the review. Now let's talk about the rest of the body. It looks really good. It's very nice and bulky, just like he is. Lots of nice scratches here with some silver paint actually on the gray there. So you can see we'll have a red streak right there. Lots of nice scratches, whatnot. Take this off, and a few more actually on the back, as you can see. Now, the one thing I want to mention is that I feel like his back looks a little too flat. It's not too bad. Of course, this is going to be a noticeable little peg hole on the back there, so you'll probably want to keep that on as much as you want, or as much as you'd like, of course. Little skull with 99 on there with some red and actually some really good silver. I think the silver actually comes through pretty well. It's used a bit sparingly, but I mean, in what they're going for, which is scratches and imperfections on the armor, it gets the job done. There's not much to complain about there. Pretty much the same logo on the other side. Nice red. And actually, it looks like there's a lot of, like, not dense, but just it's just very rough looking on, like, well, like it's supposed to, around the collar and whatnot. And I think it comes through very well. Get down to the arms, lots of nice wrinkles in the elbows. A little red paint is mostly on there pretty well. I think maybe it's streaked a little bit. Maybe the gray comes through a little bit, but that's fine. You pass that off as like an imperfection, like right here. There's some gray, some red that may be missing, or that could be because the paint was dripping away. So it works either way. And even some more very minor scratches on like areas like right here where my finger is, and then right there. Here are the hands. Rather nice. You can see there's even some more wrinkles on the inside of the elbow there. They're very nice, big, meaty hands. Looking very cool. I dig this. Yeah, that's cool. Down to the bottom torso, there's actually some pieces sculpted hidden in the articulation there, so that's pretty cool. Not much going to back there. That's fine though. It's accurate to the design. We also have these red pouches, which they're gray on this side and red on the front. We do have some wrinkles there on the legs. Let's take this out here. Red and blue here is actually paint on there, very clean. We have even some more silver paint and some rough looking, not really, slightly dented, slightly just used armor going on there. Even some more silver streaks on the shins all the way down. I'm sorry, the knees to the shins. There might be a little bit. So no, I don't think there is actually. I'm not sure. But there's the back of the knees. They actually sculpted the joints. So that's cool. And the articulation works just fine. So I dig that. Some more scratches and whatnot on the back of the legs. Now we look towards the front of the feet. And you can see we do have even more really nice rough details. It's almost like they took, like, someone took like a rock or something rough and then like pressed it against the foot. Sorry, I got that out of the frame. And then that's how they got that detail. And I think that's cool. So then we get to the bottom of the feet. There's a little bit of treading and whatnot, but that's the bottom of the peg holes and whatnot. So I think it's actually really nice looking, man. Not only just with like, scratches and whatnot, but the overall mold is really cool. The head sculpt's cool. And the way that the accessories are painted and sculpted are also really nice. Now for articulation, the head is going to be very hindered with the helmet on. So it's not much different with it off, but it's side to side. You have articulation going into the head with a dumbbell joint as well as going into the body. So it's all the way around, side to side. Up is actually decent. Down is like that. Again, the range of motion is actually, what the hell am I talking about? That's a really good range of motion there. Down. I think the side to side is the only thing that's a bit iffy, but the rotation here is fine. This, just like Hunter and Crosshair, I believe, this little shoulder pad will move separately, and you can let go of it and it won't move, or you can hold it down and it will move. So that's cool. Arms go in and out all the way around. They think a bit of an upper butterfly joint, so that's really cool actually. And we do have a swivel at the elbow. It's a little loose on mine. Over 90-degree bend for the elbow. Swivel at the wrist as well as an up and down hinge here. And an in and out hinge at this hand. Ball joint waist goes back that much, which is not great. Forward is okay. Side to side's pretty good. And then swivel. Ooh, that's very... You hear that? It likes to snag, so I need to be careful with that. Forward. Back. Splits are actually decent. Surprisingly. Upper thigh swivel. Single jointed knee that actually bends really well, and it does get a swivel This is the one time I actually I feel like I don't mind the knee pad not being on the knee too much, because it actually doesn't look too bad. Don't pull up on that too much. I almost pulled that off. That's bad. And then we do have a bend downward on the foot. Up is not the greatest. You could probably finagle that a little bit. And then we do have an ankle rocker. Now on the tech, he does have this standard clone pistol. And I don't think he has a holster for this either. What the heck is going on, Hasbro? But we've gotten this plenty of times before. We've gotten this with Hunter, maybe Crosshair. I don't exactly remember, but we've definitely gotten this plenty of times before, especially with Clone Commanders. We do have a backpack unique for tech. Something happened when I took this out of the box. This started to get stressed. You see that little white going into the gray there? So that's annoying. We do have these nice red paint streaks on here. Look pretty good, but that's about it. There's not much else with the paint. It's just this light gray, off-white almost plastic. And there's a few scratches here and there. You can't really see it in the light even, though. So, I mean, there is some detail, and these are softer plastic. Be careful with these, though, seriously. Hole in the back. If I thought Wrecker's flat back looked a little flat, this takes the cake. This is actually flat, and it does not look good. And it plugs in there, but it likes to, I mean, it'll stay in there right now. But it's not as secure as Wrecker's backpack. And then the last actual accessory he comes with is his helmet. A lot of people were complaining about this, and I can understand definitely. They really should have tried to make the lenses translucent. Because you could see his eyes in the shell. It's just painted with gold. That's his visor piece. I mean, this maybe didn't need to be translucent, but that would have been nice if it was. But either way, yeah, I wish it was a little translucent. But I don't think it looks horrible with how the gold comes out. The red on the hair, red on the paint, excuse me, and well, the face is what I meant to say. It looks pretty good. We do have this nice skull logo on the little earpieces that flip down, and at least this moves. I do like that soft, antenna pieces going up in here. A little bit of dark gray, almost like a gunmetal color going into the mouth there and whatnot. And we do have some off-white as well as some darker gray going on. Quick 360 look. This is going to be easier to put on than Wrecker's. Not that his was impossible, but it's just quite literally an easy fit on there. One thing that you can include if you want, if you can take them out somehow, is actually he does come with these tools, as you can see. I really don't want to take them out right now. They're really giving me trouble going in and out. Maybe I'll just take one of these out. Maybe this one. Yeah, so these come out. And, I mean, they're very small, though. I think you can actually maybe try to finagle putting it in the left hand, although that grip for the left hand is still pretty loose. So be aware of that. But it is cool that this one seems like it doesn't want to come out at all. This one, though, I just took out. At least they have these little individual pieces that way. You could take them off if you want or leave them on there. So that's pretty cool. Now we also have some printing for the face here. For some reason, I feel like this doesn't really look that much like tech from the show. I mean, I could be wrong, it's very nice and realistic looking at least. But I feel like Wrecker's, I think, came out better in comparison to how it's supposed to look. I know it's supposed to be realistic depictions of animated characters. But I think Wrecker's did a good balance of both. This looks more realistic, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But I don't know. There's something about it that keeps me from thinking it's perfect. It's good, though. It really is. Like, I can't deny how good the face printing is. The lip color and whatnot. The way that the hair is painted. The printing on the hair. There's no splotching, so that's really good. And it's just one basic color for the hair. But it has some pretty good sculpting in there. So I dig that a lot. So you're not going to hear any complaining of me, going there. Pop that back on because I'm sure most of you want to see it with that on there. Just like very similar to Wrecker, we have some black going on. These nice lines sculpted in there on the neck. We'll back out a little bit and you can get a better idea of how, the armor looks. I feel like it's supposed to be a lot darker of a gray or an off-white here. I just feel like it's too bright. I could be wrong, though. Again, that flat back right there kind of bugs me. Red paint comes through pretty decently. You can see there's some imperfections, which is it's on purpose. You can see it's like as if it's battle damage. There's even some scratches throughout the shoulders and the armor as well, looking pretty good. It's a little bit harder to see on even within the light. Some of these areas, some scratches here and here, whatnot. But we do also have some nice details of some lines going on right here and some wrinkles going on in the elbows right there. And then the hands, actually, these little gauntlet piece, not really gauntlet, but these little bracer pieces, whatnot. They came through pretty well. You have this little, whatever this thing is, doodad or whatever, on the back of his hand. And yeah, the hands came through pretty well, I think. We do have some nice detailing and wrinkles going on in the lower torso here. It looks like he's actually being worn. Like, I don't know. I think it looks good. There's some nice wrinkles there. The brown does not look great, I don't think. If it was a little bit darker, maybe a little bit of a wash would have been better. But there is some detail to make it look like leather. So I can dig that. Nice pouch. I just wish we had weapon storage. And then we have this little piece that's painted on here gray and whatnot. I do wish this was maybe a functioning pouch to maybe hold some tools and whatnot. We get down to the bottom towards the legs here. Lots of nice wrinkles, straps being strapped onto his thighs and whatnot. Nice knee pads, looking pretty small. I feel like proportionally the knees look a little too low. I don't know if it's because of the way it's bent forward. It looks fine. But then, I don't know, something about it to me just looks weird. I'm not going to complain about it too much right now. I just wanted to point that out. And then you get to some details. Not really much going on with it. A little bit of red right there. It's just a basic brown again, with maybe a little bit of some buttons sculpted on there. So the top of the feet look like. Not much going on, I don't think. I'm going to tell you guys right now, there's nothing really detailed on the bottom of the feet. I do think out of the two I'm reviewing right now, I think that Wrecker is the better looking. Definitely. Articulation wise, let's go over with the helmet. Swivels, it's on a dumbbell joint again, so it can pivot up and down. And we do have some articulation. It actually goes into the body, which is a little bit stiff on mine right now. A pretty good butterfly joint. Arms go all the way around. They do go in and out, which this seems a little too stiff, but we do have these soft plastic elbow pieces or shoulder pieces. Just be careful you don't bend them too far. A single joint elbow that bends pretty well, and we do have a swivel at the wrist, as well as an up and down hinge here, and I believe an in and out hinge here. Ball joint waist, which actually works really well, although look at that nasty part of the sculpt going on there because of the articulation. We do have swivels forward, back, side to side. Legs go forward like this, back actually pretty decently. Splits are pretty good. Upper thigh swivel like so. We do have a single joint knee that I showed off. It actually does bend pretty well. It swivels. Then we do have bottom, top of the feet. It goes bottom down. You know what I'm talking about. Up doesn't really want to go up that much, but we do have a nice ankle rocker. Quick size comparisons with a bunch of different figures. Right next to them is the other members of the Bad Batch, Hunter and Crosshair, all looking really good with each other, I think. Out of all these figures you're seeing here, including the far left Target exclusive Clone Wars ARC Trooper Echo and the Retro Collection Marvel Legends Spider-Man on the far right, of course, Wrecker's going to be the tallest. They're all pretty close in scale. The normal size ones are pretty close in scale to each other, but out of all of them, Tech is actually going to be the shortest of the Bad Batch. And out of all the figures that you're seeing here, actually. So overall, out of all the Bad Batch we have so far, not just the ones I reviewed today, I do think Tech is the weakest, to be quite honest. It's not a god-awful figure. I know I talked a little bad about it. I just wish they did some things differently with the execution. Proportions in the knees, at least. It's really the only problem proportionally with this guy. I do wish that we got some clear visor pieces, whatnot. I feel like the colors are supposed to be darker. I could be completely wrong. I'm just not visualizing how it looks right now in the show, but I don't know. I just feel like it might be a little bit darker. Compared to the rest of them, they're all pretty consistent dark grays and whatnot. But I do like his accessories. His helmet's nice. His visor piece flipping down is pretty cool. Overall, he comes with everything you need for this character. Wrecker I was pleasantly surprised with Wrecker. It's a little bit more expensive. Tech is $20 and Wrecker's $30. He's a deluxe figure, but he was very good with the detailing. Some of the paint on him is a lot more decent, in my opinion, than what we have on Tech. And it's a lot more fun for me to pose, honestly. So both of these are fine, you know, at least Tech's fine. But Wrecker is honestly maybe one of my favorite out of the Bad Batch figures we have for Black Series so far. Can't wait for Echo. I don't know if he was announced, but a Bad Batch version of Echo is going to be very welcome. Thank you guys very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think about the figure, what you think about the review. Leave a like, share with your friends. If I forgot, I'll leave some links down in the description below where you can get these. I'll see you guys later.